Welcome back to the Republic of Football. And as I hinted in the first half of the show, we're talking to the youngest offensive coordinator in college football, last year's Lone Star Conference Offensive Player of the Year, All-Texas non-FBS Offensive Player of the Year, product of Needville High School, and now the offensive coordinator at UTPB, Kenny Hrncir. Kenny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You're already sounding more mature as we step into this. So, first of all, 23-year-old coordinator, man. How does that feel to be named, as the youngest coordinator in college football?
Oh, it's awesome. All the respect to our head coach, Chris McCullough, giving me this opportunity and allowing me to work with some of the great coaches we have here, along with our other offensive coordinator, Blake Crandall. He's done a great job. All these guys have just really welcomed me in, and I can't think of a better staff to start with.
Now, Kenny, are you going to be younger than any of the players you're coaching this year?
Oh, yeah. Our starting quarterback is actually a few months older than me. So.
How's that? I was about to say, how's that dynamic? Because, you went from sharing locker rooms with these guys to, hey, by the way, we got to adjust this, on the fly. How's that been?
Yeah, so, just got to stop hanging out with them outside the facility, really. But, no, these guys have been great, too, along with the staff. They really just kind of knew what was going to happen, knew this was a role I was going to step into. And they've really respected the decision and respected me as a coach so far. And it's been great just working alongside them, really seeing a lot of your best friends still succeeding at what they love to do. It's one of the best feelings you can have.
And Kenny, we talked about your new quarterback you'll be coaching, Dylan Graham, and he was actually the starter in 2022 before you took over that starting job. Now he's going to be the starter again. What has his growth been like throughout the offseason?
It's been incredible. Put football aside, he's one of the best guys I've ever met, too. For a guy to come in and be told that he's not going to be the starter anymore and still want to stick around with this program and trust the staff and trust the culture that we've built here, I think that kind of says everything you need to know about him. Playing-wise, he can throw the ball with the best of them. I'm so excited to coach him, so excited to just continue working with him each and every day and just have him in our facility. He makes us twice as good of a team.
We talk about you being a young coordinator, but your head coach also young. I believe he first became a head coach at 26, not even 30 yet. What's it been like now for you at 2 stops with him, obviously going from his quarterback to his OC, but also from East Central to UTPB? What's just give us a breakdown of what it's like working with him, a younger coach, but somebody who's still very accomplished.
Oh, yeah, it's great. He, everything that he preaches about family, he actually lives it. And I put my full trust in this guy. Coach McCullough has never steered me in the wrong way. And, he's a guy that I knew I'd want to work for because of that, just that trust I have with him, that culture aspect that he really teaches to everybody. Just preaching family and him living it with, having his kids up here and allowing other guys on the team or other coaches, their kids are up here, they're playing around. He wants to spend time with family. And, when it's time to work, we get to work. But, when it's time to just, live life and be with the family, be with friends, he's all about that. So I've put my full trust in him since day one, and I'm going to continue doing that.
Now, Kenny, take me through this timeline of your offseason. So you run out of eligibility after a great year playing QB last year. You're hired as the passing game coordinator and quarterback coach after the season. But when did you find out about becoming the offensive coordinator, and what were your feelings in that moment?
So I knew that, right after the season, me and Hayden Kelly, who's also on the staff now, played linebacker for us, and Matthew Zubiotti, we were all in the office that next morning and started getting to work. So just having them around was awesome. And then afterwards, hearing that I was going to be co-offensive coordinator with Blake, it came after Coach Ryan Lusby just got the Dodge City head coaching job. So big congratulations to him. I know he's going to do such great things out there. And I'm rooting for him. I can't wait to watch him this season. But the coach just came in and talked to me and Blake and kind of explained the situation. And it was truly an honor to be named offensive coordinator, and something that I don't know really if it's set in yet, but I'm excited for the opportunity.
I believe before you even played last year, you knew you were going to be going into coaching after you were done, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
did you kind of take last season, or I guess the question I should ask is, what's it been like for you kind of adjusting from playing to, being on the sideline, holding the clipboard a little bit? What has that transition been like in general?
Well, yeah, I knew I was always going to want to get into coaching. I thought, at the college level it would be a great start since I'm still young and, want to try some things out. But just the difference between playing is, it's the closest I could get to playing. Mm. So, I knew I never wanted to go get a desk job and just sit behind a computer. And so I wanted to be out there and just being, like we talked about earlier, being with the guys that I played with last year just makes it so much better for me that, I get to see them succeed. I'm still jumping up and down on the sidelines. When Dylan Graham's throwing touchdowns, there's nothing better than that. So I'm just trying to play football without any years of eligibility left, really.
Well, when we were researching your story, we saw you had a full-blown Wikipedia page. How does that feel at 23 years old to have a full-blown Wikipedia?
I just found out from you that I have a Wikipedia page. I had no clue.
That's awesome. Yeah, he has your high school career right here, of course, mentions Needville. By the way, you still keep up with Needville?
Oh, yeah, I still keep up with Needville. So I'm actually from the West Texas area. Grew up in Wink, about an hour from Odessa. So I went 2 years in Wink and 2 years in Needville. And so I'm still keeping up with both of them, rooting them on.
Awesome. So one of the last questions I had was, I think, Carter, you mentioned this actually. You used to have kind of a more flow going on with the hair.
Yeah, we saw you used to have a flow, like shoulder-length hair, Kenny. When's that coming back?
That's not coming back no more. The wife's not going to let that one happen. So,
okay, that was a good business decision.
I'm sorry?
That was a good business decision on your part.
Yeah, I'm getting a little smarter now.
Sounds good. All right, so one of my questions I did have was, when you get in practice and you're like, hey, hit the guy like this on the post, something like that. Do you get out there and be like, all right, let me show you how I want this to be done real quick. Let me show you how this throw is supposed to go. Let me show you how to layer this pass. Do you have you done that yet? Have you done let me show you how you're supposed to do it?
No, I really want to, but I know I'm not going to be able to make that throw either. So I just leave it to those guys and try to teach them from the sideline.
There you go.
Well, we talked about your career at Needville High School a little bit, but I also saw that you were a regional golf champion while you were at Needville. So what is your golf handicap looking like nowadays?
I think right now it's like a 4. But I mean, I can easily shoot 100. So just depends on the day.
Do you get to go out there very often still? I mean, that's a pretty good handicap for being now you're a coach coming off of your last football season. You get to go out there often?
Yeah, we go out there a little bit. They got some good courses around here, so luckily our coaches, gives us a little bit of time off in the summer. We can go hit the range at least a few times a week and just play a round or two every now and then.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Kenny, appreciate your time, man. Congratulations on the new gig. It's going to be awesome. UTPB kicks off August 31st, Saturday, against Western New Mexico, the reigning Lone Star Conference champions. Kenny Hrncir, appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. All right, so no flow coming back. So
yeah, I was disappointed to hear that.
You also kind of got rid of the flow. You have some gone. But
yeah, a little bit. I'm kind of a poser now. I just want to live vicariously through other people, basically.
There you go. You got to live by example, though.
I too had to make a business decision, if you know what I mean.
That's fair.
It's cool that we've talked to Kenny twice in the past year, one as a quarterback, obviously at Lone Star Conference Media Days last year, and now as the offensive coordinator for his alma mater.
And I'll tell you one thing.
Not even a year later.
Yeah, I was about to say, not even a year later, less than a year later. And also, he's gotten a little bit more mic comfortable.
He has.
Yes.
Right? He's definitely gotten more of a presence about him.
Because Carter, you were the one that talked to him at Lone Star, right?
Yeah, me and Corey Hogue were the ones who talked to him at Lone Star Conference Media Days. And I remember Coach McCullough said, please talk to Kenny, because he knew he was getting into coaching. He was like, he needs this practice, and he was very shy then, but obviously now
he's come out of his shell.
He's coming out of his shell a little bit more.
I wonder. I was about to say, I wonder what that first team kind of because coaches usually have to talk to the whole team at one point. At least when they're introducing themselves. I wonder how that went, or if he spent last fall kind of getting that out of his shell. So he sounds so much more comfortable. I'm very excited to see them because they're coming off of, like we mentioned, winning the Lone Star Conference last year. Chris McCullough, we've had stories on him. The Athletics had stories on him. People know about that program a little bit now. So I'm very excited to see what they can do and what Kenny can do as OC. So
yeah, it's going to be really interesting. A hell of a football player. I'm sure he's going to be a hell of a coach.
Yeah, definitely.